Yes. Hi. Hello. Hi to all those who are watching on YouTube. I hope my audio and video both are clear to you. Everyone sitting here, namaskara. Hope you're doing good. Yes. So today, next 45 minutes to 1 hour, we're going to discuss something important. I've been getting a lot of questions from many students. I thought instead of replying to all of them one to one, better to do a quick session. I'll not be uh, discussing too many things. Okay, about two-thirds of the session will be me sharing some of the inputs from my end, and last 15 minutes you can ask your questions, and those who are on YouTube, you can also send your questions in the live chat. I'll try and answer as many as possible. Okay, so this session is for all those who are planning to write examination in May 2023, and those who are going to watch this session in future on YouTube. If you're watching this session 3 months before exam, it is applicable to you also. No amendment in this video. Yeah, applicable forever. Exam day minus 3 months. You can watch this video. Chalo, in this session, I'll be talking about couple of important things, starting from do's and don'ts, and then the overall study plan, and an important question about whether to write one group or both the groups. Too much of discussion on groups nowadays. If a CA student goes for blood test and nurse asks which group, they say both. Right? Therefore, I added an extra slide specifically for that. And then about some inputs from my end on how to face practical papers, how to prepare from now so you'll be able to face the exam comfortably, and about theory subjects, and few things that you should keep in mind from now, from today itself, to be able to present your answer sheet well. Okay, I prefer we'll discuss this do's and don'ts little later at the end. I wanted to discuss something uh, more important at the beginning, because many students from now, if you still count till the date of examination, we have enough days. The problem is we take things lightly at the beginning. We start reading from whichever subject is our favorite most of the times, and then we spend too much time on that subject, and then we'll end up having very less time for other subjects, and then we mess up. And sometimes we may score 75 in our favorite subject and 35 in another subject. At the end, it's of no use. So over studying our favorite subject is also a big problem. So some of the important points that you have to keep in mind while making your subject plan for next 3.5 months. This is something that I discussed even in my regular class. If some of you can recall, if you want to make a note of these things, you can do it. Number one, first, from today till your examination day, whichever paper that you're going to write, suppose if you have decided that you'll only write group 2, then count till that day, first paper, group 2 first paper. If you have decided to write only one group, then first day of the May 2023 examination. Count the total number of days. Consider at least 10 hours only for studies from today, from tomorrow. 10 hours, this includes if you're attending regular classes. That if you're attending 5 hours class, then you have 5 hours time to study. If you're not attending class, then entire 10 hours for self study. If you're attending class only for 3 hours, then the balance 7 hours is for your study. Minimum is the term that I said, not maximum. There's a minimum 10 hours that you will have to plan, you'll have to slog. There is no other way. And don't think you'll start with 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you will increase the number of hours. In last 1 month, you can't increase. You should actually decrease the number of hours one day before exam. Students study 14 hours one day before exam, and study 4 hours now and 14 hours later won't help. Rather, study 9 to 10 hours from now itself. Sorry, not 9, 10 hours minimum you will have to plan. If you're attending class for 5 hours, after that minimum 5 hours you'll have to study. Anything more, I'm happy. I've used the word minimum. Keep that in mind. Now, if you consider minimum 5 hours of your own study from today till the examination day, find out the total number of hours that you have. Okay, For example, now if I talk about 4 papers or 8 papers, some of you will get confused. So just to not bring in group 1, group 2 discussion, I'll consider 6 papers, okay, for our discussion. So from today till May 1st, if you count the total number of days, entire February, entire March, entire April, plus about 10 to 11 days now, 100 days into say 10 hours a day, which is about 1000 hours in total, minus the number of hours that you need to attend the pending classes, to complete your pending videos to be watched, etc., etc. Then the balance number of hours is what you have for your own self study, correct, without any class, without any video. That you then divide by number of subjects that you want to write. For example, out of 1000 hours, I have another 400 hours of class to attend, videos to watch, example. Then I'm left with 600 hours of time for self-study. And I'm writing, example, 6 papers. So 600 hours divided by 6 papers, I have 100 hours for each subject. This number you write based on whether you're writing 4 papers or 8 papers. I've told you. To avoid that confusion, I've kept 6 papers. So you understand 4 or 8 as the case may be. Now, just a second. Is there any problem with audio? Is it okay now? Huh. So total 600 hours divided by 6 papers that you want to write, divided by 8 if you're writing both groups, divided by 4 if you're writing one group. Now, you know number of hours that you have for each subject. Now go to that subject, go to the index sheet. Now whichever book if you have, if you can just open the textbook, suppose you have advanced accounts book with you, total number of hours you write at the end, the total, not on top, the total. Divide that by number of chapters that you have. Suppose I have 100 hours and I have, say example, 10 chapters, that means I have 10 hours allocated for each topic. Now I know some topics won't take 10 hours, it will get over in say 5 or 6 hours, and I also know there are topics which will take more than 14-15 hours, correct? Now average this out. You have first written 100 in total, and then you write 10 10 10 for all, and then you minus 2 or 3 wherever you think less time is enough, and then add 2 or 3 wherever you think you need more time. Audio issues. Just a second. This is okay. I'll keep it this way. No problem. Now you have the number of hours allotted for each topic. So this is 100 divided by 10, which is 10 10 10 for all 10 topics, and then you minus from smaller topics, add that to bigger topics. So it may so happen at the end of the exercise your index sheet will have 6 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, and so on, but the total should not cross 100. That is something you have to keep in mind. Now this is very difficult exercise because you don't know how many hours are needed for that topic. First of all, even if you have attended the class, even if you have completed the topic, sometimes you will not get to know whether to allocate 3 or 4. Then simply go by page numbers. Those topics where you have more page numbers in your textbook, allocate more, and those where it is only 5 page, 8 page, 10 page topic, allocate less. This is a very raw basic way of allocating time. Once you start revising, you will get to know. Now we are in a total track from today till end of my April 30th. Total number of days divided by total number of subjects, and then now I have chapter wise allocation. Suppose I then open the book. Now today I have to revise, for example, dividend decision topic in FM. I have allocated 4 hours as per my plan. Now in 4 hours, what am I supposed to do? See the third bullet point that you have on screen. Do not solve every sum. This is the biggest mistake that many students do, especially in practical subjects, accounts, costing, advanced accounts, and FM. If you're solving each sum even in your revision, you are doing a big mistake, a very big mistake. You need to select those topics, those problems which are worth revising. Not every sum is worth revising. Now you are attending advanced accounts class. First sum in every chapter will be very easy, basic, to teach you the concept, to make you understand, to make you comfortable with that discussion. Slowly, after 4 or 5 problems, you'll start realizing this fifth sum is better than the third and fourth. Second sum is better than the first. Now in class itself, you start marking out of the two which is that you should solve during revision. Just mark it as category A or B, 1 or 2, important, not so important, something like this. If you have not marked already, then open that chapter, open that book, go through the concepts. You will get to know when you read itself which is tougher, which is easy. Read the question first before you start revising. Read the question. First question you read, you find it very easy, very simple. Then go to the second. You think second question has first question and some new adjustments, do that. Take out question number 1. Anyway, you have the answers, you have attended the classes. If you're revising study material, then you have the answers available there. If you find things easy, do not revise. If you are revising easy questions, then understand, you work out a sum for 30 minutes and you get the exact answer at the end of 30th minute. What is the new thing that you learned in last 30 minutes? According to me, you wasted those 30 minutes. Students are happy in their revision when they get the correct answer. You should be unhappy when you get the correct answer. If you get the correct answer, that means you already had the ability to get the answer. What did you learn in 30 minutes? Nothing new. This is a new perspective. Just think about it. You take up a sum, you're stuck in between, you're not able to understand, you revise the concept, then you solve it, then you understand, 30 minutes is used. But if you take an easy sum, work out fully, get the perfect answer, what did you learn in 30 minutes? That is okay when you're attending regular class. You need to learn, you have to go from small questions, easy questions to big and tough questions. But during revision, select only those questions which are difficult, which are different from what is done in class, or which you think is a question that you normally do mistakes. You know very well which are those concepts where you do mistakes. Select only such questions. Suppose in dividend decision, in class material, there are 11 questions. First 20 minutes only go through 11 questions, read. In that, select which are those 4 or 5 questions, the best questions that you want to solve. Most of the cases you will find the book to be like this. 1/3 will be very easy, 1/3 is average, and 1/3 advanced problems. Those advanced problems only you should revise. If you start an advanced problem, slightly difficult sum, you are not able to do, no problem. Go back to an easier one. It is like changing the gear. Go back one gear, you'll get the acceleration, then you come back to higher gear. Simple as that. So go back to an easy question, revise that. Now you got the comfort, come back to tougher question. So use those easy questions only if you need. Don't solve every easy sum. You will waste a lot of time, especially problems in accounts. Balance sheet preparation question. You work out for 35 minutes, easy sum. You get the perfect answer, you're happy. What for are you happy? You solved an easy question. You were happy when you saw the question itself because you understood, oh, this I can try. If you get that confidence, don't solve. That means you can try, you will try, you will get the answer. Solve a question which you think it's difficult. What may happen? You will start, you'll be stuck, you'll go wrong, good. Find out what is the correct answer, then you will learn something. That 30 minutes is used. Do not solve easy sums. Even in my material, you will find first, second, easy, basic questions. If you can solve third, you don't have to solve first and second. I'll give you one small example. Process costing. Okay, first sum will be only one process. Basic input, normal 5% wastage, balancing figure, abnormal loss, abnormal. Easy. Second question will have process 1 and process 2, where output of process 1 becomes input to process 2. Now, if you can do second sum, understand first sum is included in that. Don't do the first, do the second. Third question has two processes, and in the second process, we are selling, even the selling price is given. They want you to do P&L account also. Now, if you can't solve third, understand first and second both are done. So my suggestion, read first, read second, read third. Now you are convinced that third is a better sum than first and second, do third. And if you can do third, first and second, even reading is enough, you don't have to solve. The biggest problem is students take too much of time in practical subjects and they neglect theory. And if you have 100 hours, as I told you, divide equally by number of subjects. Don't segregate to arrow marks, practical subjects, theory subjects. I'll do practical, balancing figure for theory. That's not the right way. 30-40 hours if you allocate for theory, you will fail in theory. Because theory also is not as easily manageable as you are thinking. If you open the book, you'll get to know. Company law and costing, you have to study equally. I can understand 5% less time, 5% more time, because in practical you need to solve. It takes more time. Theory is a kind of reading. It takes less time. So out of 100 hours example, if you are allocating 60 and 40 I'm still okay, 55 and 45 I'm okay, 50 I'm okay. But what you do is 80 and 20, which is not okay. Don't do that. So in practical subjects, don't waste too much time. Select good questions and work out. Next, once in 3 or 4 days, you review your plan. For example, you had allocated 2 subjects for next 15 days. Okay, next 15 days, daily 10 hours, 15 into 10, 150 hours divided by 2, 75 hours for accounts, 75 hours for law. Once in 3 days, you review what was your plan and what is happening. If you see in 3-4 days you are well within the plan, just continue. If you think you're going very slow, the next 1 or 2 days sleep little extra, complete the pending thing. 5th, 6th day you should come back to the plan. In between you will have to have this. You can't have a plan and study and then 20 days later you realize something was in plan and something else is in reality. Once in 3 days, ensure that you review your plan, especially in terms of number of hours that you are spending. Next, a very hot topic: what to do. Number one, sir, one group is easy but two is not possible. 4 is easy, 8 is difficult. Now my suggestion to all such students: why don't you try 6 papers? If 8 is not possible, any one group which you are good at, which you know, whichever group that you are comfortable with, which you have anyway decided that I will be writing. Now question is not whether to write this or that. Most of you would have already decided for sure I'll write this group, but the other group I'm still thinking, 50-50, sitting on the fence, which side to jump, I'm not sure. Then do one thing: in the balance group which you have not decided, at least select 1 or 2 papers which you think you can try and get an exemption. Okay, study only those 2. Other 2 you go sit in exam hall, whatever basic thing you can write and come. Even if you score 10 and 10, no problem in those 2 papers. Anyway, your agenda was not to write full 8 papers. But what happens when you decide that I'll write only 4 papers? You will be lazy from day one. Today itself, if you decide I'll write only 4 papers, from tomorrow you see your attitude. You will not attend group 2 classes properly, you will not do group 2 homework properly. You think anyway I have 100 days, only 4 papers to study, 25 days per subject. I have so much time, and then I'll miss out my routine. I'll not study the way I'm studying. Your yesterday's routine and tomorrow's routine will be different if you decide to write only 4. But if you think 8 is a burden, then you always have an option. Fill exam form for both the groups. Always, I suggest every student fill for both. Okay, and if you think group 2 is easier than group 1, then in group 1, whichever that 1 or 2 papers which you are good at, select that, and group 2 you study properly. 4 plus 1 or 2 exemptions. If you get 2 exemption, it will save so much time in the next attempt. Anyway, next attempt you are ready to write that group. Don't feel bad, I'm saying next attempt. If you write 4 now, 4 later, it is still next attempt. Correct? Write 4 properly. Try 1 exemption or 2 exemptions. So next time, instead of waiting for next group exam and then joining articleship, you can join articleship after group 1 result. Anyway, you'll have 1 or 2 to write because you would have got 1 or 2 exemption. Then writing other 2 will be very, very easy. But if you don't write another group at all, don't touch even 1 subject there, then the problem is you'll write 4. Even if you clear, and if you join articleship, writing all 4 while doing articleship can be again a headache. Then you'll skip 1 more attempt. I know many students who do this. Example, you write in May, get result in July, join for articleship in August, then September, October, immediately November you'll have to write 4 more papers. Students won't write that attempt at all. They skip to next May. And by then they would have forgotten all that they've attended now, and then they will take more time to do revision. The same student, if that student completes 4 plus 1 or 4 plus 2, then writing only 2 papers will still be easy, still be manageable, and you will have so much confidence because you have 2 exemptions, and those 2 exemptions marks will be counted next time when you write. So if you score 65 next time they will count that 65 and other 2. Even if you score 40, understanding what I'm saying? You'll have this advantage. And when you have exemption, it gives a different level of confidence altogether. You ask anyone who had exemption and then wrote the next paper, they will always feel very, very comfortable because for them group is only 2 papers because 2 exemptions they already have. Correct? Therefore, don't stick to just 4 papers. You can try in between 4 plus 1, 4 plus 2 is still possible. If you ask me from today, 8 is totally possible. But if you are not ready, don't go down to 4. You'll be very, very lazy. Take it from me. You yourself will message me in April that you wasted a lot of time after deciding to write only 4 papers. I'm only saying 4 plus see what is possible. Even if you take up one paper in another group, you can try an exemption. Then that will save so much time in the next attempt. You can only write 3 more papers that time. Clear? Next. There is no one suggestion that I can give it to all of you. I cannot tell everyone write this, write that. You know your plus, you know your minus. You know the answer now to the third bullet point on screen. Please don't do that. I should have searched the red no button on Google and added a emoji here. Emoji, right? Smiley. Please don't discuss this. I'll tell you why you should not discuss. What is the expectation when you discuss with them? They are as good or as bad as you. Understand this first. No, I'm very serious. If you are taking a suggestion from someone who has completed CA Inter and doing CA Final, that can still be a valid input. Someone who has cleared CA Final, recent attempt, who has written one group once and another group later, or have taken some exemptions, ask them, they can still give good inputs. But you're asking someone who is as clueless as you. And don't feel bad when I say 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. You won't get any better outcome after the discussion with someone who is writing exam with you just like you. They are also clueless. You will actually confuse more. You will confuse your friend, your friend will confuse you more. Now you have more problems than what you had before discussing with friend. Please don't discuss, because everyone has their own strength, their own weakness. Somebody can take up 8, somebody can't take up. For someone, one subject is difficult. For someone, that is the easiest paper. Somebody finds group 1 is easy. For someone, group 2 is easy. Therefore, you discussing with yourself in 2 months, you'll have 2 different answers. Understand this. Your own mind, what it was telling you in December, what it is telling you in January, what your own mind will tell you in April is going to be different. And imagine you're discussing with another mind which is as confused as you. That is definitely not going to help. Finally, you have to study. Finally, it is your paper, your marks. If they say let's write both the groups, and if you write both the groups, and if they clear and if you don't, then they won't wait for you. They will start their articleship and then you will be sitting alone. Then you can't blame him or her. You gave the suggestion, now you come sit with me. Institute won't allow this in exam hall, that you took a collective decision, let your paper also be collective. They won't. Therefore, this should be very, very individual decision. Do not discuss even if you have decided something. You will, number one, disturb them. Number two, if they say something, you will get further disturbed. Ultimately, you have to write the exam. Ultimately, you will pass, you will fail. Now, for example, foundation. Some of you have friends who wrote foundation exam along with you. Suppose if you clear and if they don't, for example, now you are in inter, you have cleared and they did not. Are you waiting for them to come? No, you just joined intermediate class without waiting for your foundation, who took your suggestion and could not clear exam. Understand this. This is very important. I don't want you to be that student in inter. Your friend will clear and attend final class, you will still be in inter because of somebody's suggestion. You did not get good result. You want to discuss with someone who has cleared inter completely and doing articleship, or someone who has written final and cleared final recently. They will be in a position to give you better inputs because they've passed through this. Now you can give advice to 10th standard student because you've completed. Exactly what I'm asking you to do. Talk to someone who has cleared CA. Talk to someone who has at least cleared CA inter. Don't discuss with someone who is as good as you. When should I decide whether to write one group or both? Some of us have decided to not write second group even without knowing what is there in the second group. Another bad way of deciding. You don't even know what is there in that group. You have not even attended some of those classes. You don't know the syllabus. You can't reject a group even without knowing what is there in the group. Understanding what I'm saying? Some of you are still attending class. Some of you are planning to attend some classes in the days to come. When will you decide? Basically, my suggestion, apply for both the groups if they open the examination window. Attend classes. at least more than 2.5 papers in group 2. If you attend class, you will get to know. 2.5 is 250 marks classes. If you attend, you will get to know. And you can take decision somewhere in mid-March, say 15th of March, you can decide whether I can write both the groups or not. Even if you decide on March 15th that I'll be writing only one group, from there you will still have 45 days to focus on one single group. That will still be 11 or 12 days on one single subject. You can easily do your revision. Or as I told you, 4 plus 1 or 4 plus 2. All this decision you can take only in the month of March, definitely not in January, not even in February. If you think March 15 is too late, then March 1st. But don't decide anything before March 1st. My problem is if you decide now itself to write only 4 papers, you will waste a lot of time and you will lose seriousness in the group 2 classes that you are attending. You'll start missing, you'll start bunking, and you will not even feel guilty because you are anyway not writing the exam immediately. So you will start finding yourself that excuse, that explanation. Why should I worry? Anyway, I'm not writing the exam. It's okay if I don't go also. Understanding what I'm saying? Take this decision somewhere in the month of March, ideally first week or second week. And once you decide, then don't change anything in April. If you have decided to write 4 plus 1, then stop everything else. Then write only 4 plus 1. Study only 4 plus 1 or 4 plus 2 for next 45 days. 45 days is still more than enough because I'm talking about March 15 to May 1st. From today, we still have more than 50-60 days to March 15. So you have enough time. Don't take any decision right now. Now some specific inputs on practical papers. Some of you have a bad habit of reading practical sums. You need to practice, you need to work out. Even if it is a rough sheet, no problem. You have to write, you have to solve. Okay. You need to practice more now. Many students, this attempt, November attempt, to talk to some CA final students, CA inter students also. They'll tell you a lot of papers, they had easy questions, but they were not able to write because there was no time. By the way, institute will not change the rules of game on exam day. You know the rule now itself. 3 hours is the time for accounts paper, for costing paper, for advanced accounts paper. They're not going to reduce that to 2 hours. So now itself, when you know that I have to complete paper in 3 hours, you should practice from now itself, keeping 3 hours time in mind. That's my second point. When you focus just on getting the correct answer, you may spend 45 minutes to tally one balance sheet. 45 minutes for one balance sheet, which is going to be a 10 or 12 or 14 marks question, is too much of waste of time because you have 100 marks paper to write in 180 minutes. That means you have 1:1.8 ratio, less than 1:2 ratio. That means a 10 marks question you should practice in less than 20 minutes. You should take only 18 minutes for easy understanding. 1:2, less than that. 1:2, if you do also, you can only write 90 marks paper because you have only 180 minutes. Understand that. So when you are practicing from today itself, even if it's a homework question, practice it by keeping less than 1:2 as your target in mind and work out. Now we will get to know how many account sum, how many costing sums where you take 30-40 minutes is a big mistake. If you take 40 minutes for a 10 marks question, understand you should have completed that in 20 minutes and you're taking 40. What happens? You will not be able to attend one more sum somewhere in the question paper. At the end, you will realize. Therefore, when you're practicing practical papers, theory you will not have time challenge. Don't worry. You will have enough time. That too, theory papers have MCQs also. That will save your time. Theory writing time is not a challenge. I don't know anyone who came out and said, sir, audit I wanted to write, there was no time. This dialogue you will hear only after costing paper, accounts paper, advanced accounts paper, FM paper. In FM at least you have economics, somewhere theory and practical will get balanced out in terms of time. But accounts 1, advanced accounts and costing, time will be a challenge. So focus on speed from now itself. For all practical questions, if you want to work out more and more sums, in addition to your class material, you have the latest RTPs, MTPs, you have it on ICA website. Just download the soft copy, work out and cross check the answer. Keep time factor in mind. At least last 3 RTPs, please keep this in mind. Last 3 RTPs other than your exam, if you're writing in May, then last 3 RTPs, and last 3 question papers you have to revise without fail, and you have to take up mock papers. I'll discuss about mock papers separately. Minimum 3, latest 3 RTPs and question papers you must go through. Now, when to and how to study this mock papers and RTPs? Let me take an example of, say, costing labor chapter. Today you have decided that in next 7 hours I will revise labor topic. Now out of 7 hours, when you say labor topic, it should be your class material labor topic, study material good questions labor topic, RTP, MTP, question paper, anywhere on earth. If you want to revise something on labor topic, that should be done in these 7 hours only. Students first study their regular class material, 1 month later they open RTP. You will miss the connect. So today if I am studying labor topic class material sums, I will practice, go to the RTP, go to labor, go through the sum. If it is easy, just tick, don't sit and solve. I have already covered that. Go to question papers, last 3, find out where is labor topic. If you have a question, complete that as well. By end of 7 hours, everything related to labor topic should be done. Don't do your class material revision today and RTP after 30 days. Because 30 days later when you open RTP, you know what happens? You will read a question and you will find it as a new question. Sir, I studied this 1 month back, now I am not able to recall what was this concept. And then you open the class material, you will see it's the same question. But now you don't remember that you have revised this sum already, because there is a 30-40 days gap. 30-40 days of gap. Then when you open the RTP appears to be a new book altogether. So don't do this. Keep all books open in front of you. Regular class material, study material, 3 RTPs, 3 question papers. If I am revising process costing today, in 8 hours I should complete process costing from all sources. No more process costing revision. That should be your approach. Now you know even 7 hours will be very less to complete so much. But this is a better way. Instead of doing class material today and RTP after 1 month, this is a far better way. You will also get a confidence. Okay, class material I could solve. Question paper also is easier than class material. You will gain that confidence. I can do question paper sums also. And today itself you are doing both class material and question paper revision. It will happen quicker. It will happen very fast. If you open only RTPs 1 week before exam, then you will worry more, because the last time you touched that topic was like 30, 40, 50 days back. It will be more difficult. Yeah. Last one is summary notes, especially where you have adjustments in accounts. Okay, either make summary notes or highlight all those adjustments. Now when I say summary notes, what is that you can do? Suppose there is a accounts topic, in that you have a particular variety sum. In that there is one adjustment which is different. In next sum there are 2 adjustments which are different. Another sum, 1 more new. Like this, in that topic there are about 8 or 9 very important adjustments. I would have told you important adjustments. All those important adjustments you highlight. What is the adjustment and how have we solved it? What was the adjustment? What did we do? If they give this, what to do? Question is silent, what to assume? This kind of a summary notes you can prepare. And if you don't have time to do summary notes, in class note itself you underline or highlight all of that, and 1 day before exam you should revise all the highlighted points. Able to understand? I'll quickly take one example how you can do this summary notes. Say for example, capital budgeting in F. Now we have NPV questions. Some questions at the beginning itself they say no tax company. Now my working note 1 will not be depreciation, because when there is no tax benefit I will not calculate depreciation. Therefore in my summary notes I will write, normally step 1 is working note 1, depreciation computation. Nothing is mentioned, do under SLM, give a note. If question says no tax, then don't do this working note. Just write in your own words. Understanding? Second adjustment, working capital. Take it as cash outflow in year 0. Take it as cash inflow at the end of the project life. Working note 3, scrap value. Given what to do, not given what to do. Able to understand? Like this, in every topic you have certain important adjustments which keep coming again and again and again. Make a summary notes of all of that. 1 day before exam, first read that summary notes. Suppose today is 1 day before exam, tomorrow is FM paper. I'll read that summary notes. Okay, capital budgeting question, NPV problems. Always the first working note is depreciation. If method is not given, I'll take SLM. If company is no tax company, I'll not do this working note, because profit before depreciation and tax itself is CF 80. If you do this one day before exam, you can complete the revision so quickly. Suppose you read that summary notes, you're not able to understand what is this PBDT, CFAT, depreciation, go to that question. Which question has this adjustment? Go to that question. So when you're writing the summary notes, in bracket also write page number or question number reference. These things if you do now, it will save lot of time 1 week before exam, 1 day before exam. Otherwise that day you will have so many things to revise. The big problem with many students, 1 day before exams are which book to study. I have 7 books in front of you. Only said RTP, MTP, this, that, etc. etc. 1 day before exam, whatever you are marking in the first round of revision, only you should study, not everything. Once you complete the summary notes revision, if you have time, do yourself own summary notes. If you don't have time, one more thing you can do, share the topics among your friends group. If there are 10 topics, each one of you take up 2 topics responsibility, do the summary notes and then share. Okay, in next 7 days you make a plan to yourself that chapter 1 and 2, my friend 3 and 4, another friend 5 and 6, and so on. So by end of 7 days we should have summary notes of entire subject ready, and then we will just exchange. Then amend all the files, make one PDF, all of you can keep it. So next time when you sit for revision, you will first study summary notes and then go to the main book. In that, whichever question you have marked as important, study only that. Don't start from the book, start from summary notes, go to important questions. Then also if you have time, average questions. Then you won't have any time at all. Then only revise some summary, some formulas. If you have formats in some of the accounts chapters, study formats and formulas, and then just go to exam hall. If you want to relax 1 day before exam, this will help you a lot. 1 day before, don't search on Google summary notes for audit and download some random book and start studying. That's not the way. You want to do that today itself. Don't do it 1 day before exam, please. Understanding? Coming to theory papers. Number 1, don't try to manage theory subjects. You know what I mean when I say managing theory subjects. All of us understand this very well. We have discussed this in class also, how we have managed theory papers in 12th and degree. Don't do that. You can't write stories here and get marks. Okay, you will have to study and write what is there in the act. You have to study what is there. The technical terms are very, very important. You can't write some general sentences and expect full mark. And second, write. Do not just read. Another big mistake. We don't write theory at all. Most of you do this, correct? If a practical subject faculty gives you homework, you will go home and solve. A theory faculty gives homework, you will read and come. Anyway, sir is not going to check any notes because it's a theory. And even if they ask, you can answer verbally, nothing to write. So this bad habit will go till exam hall. And in exam hall, you have to write. That's not an interview there. It's not Q&A there. You have to write. You have to practice writing. Now what to write, how much to write, I've given my input here. Read a full page story, as you call it, theory story, and make your own 5 to 7 bullet points from one full page. By this what will happen, a 300-page theory material will get converted into 30 to 40 page of your own summary notes. This is where doing own notes will help you. Read full concept, close the book, write that concept in your own words. Any theory, any company law, any one concept, you can open that section number, there is a story, there is a case law, you read for 5 minutes, close that book, close that page, write what was the case law and what is the summary, or what is the section number, what is the summary. Like this, when you do, number 1, your writing skills will improve. Number 2, later when you sit for revision, you will know from where to study. In practical subjects, like how you have adjustments and treatment for adjustment, in theory you should have bullet points. Some students have this regular good habit of making summary notes in the class itself. They underline, they highlight. That highlighting is also enough. If you don't have time to write, highlighting is also enough. But at least in a day, 10 to 12 bullet points, make it a habit to write. Anything. If you want to write formulas itself, no problem, right? You want to write the section number and what that section says, right? Anything. But make it a habit to write. Some charts, some bullet points, some tables, difference between the two things. all such concepts write and practice. Otherwise, this time I have some students in CA final, they shared their experience after this. They said they had never tried writing a paper in 3 hours before going to exam, and then in exam they understood how bad was that exercise of not writing any paper. You have to write at least one mock paper before going to exam hall. My suggestion, 15 days before the exam, you take up one mock paper. Mock papers are also available on ICA website and they will also release. Just write it the way you're going to write in exam, same 2 to 5 time. Take the question paper 15 minutes before, exactly how exam is going to be. Do it in that seriousness. With the same seriousness, write the answer. And then you check your own answer sheet with the suggested answer, even that is available on ICA website, or give it to your friend. Take your friend's answer sheet, you evaluate 15-20 minutes for evaluation. You will get to know. From that day you will still have 15 days to correct yourself. If you think there was one more question you could have written but there was no time, now you know in accounts paper, costing paper, time is a challenge. In exam, from the beginning itself, will be very fast. I hope this is clear. Write and practice. Even theory, write and practice. Don't simply read. It's a very big mistake that some of you are already doing. Summary notes I told. Next, coming to what to do in exam and what you should do from now to be able to write well in examination. Number one mock paper you should take up at least 15-20 days before the exam. So say April 15, you should take up accounts 1, group 1 paper, a mock paper. 2 to 5, write the answers as if you are sitting in exam hall. Till that, don't open that PDF file. I say I will upload it in April month beginning. Don't open that, don't work out any sum from that. Keep it a surprise. Open that day, download, work out the entire question paper in 3 hours. Exactly 5 o'clock you stop. It should be as good as you are in exam hall. You have to self-regulate yourself. Don't add 5 minutes to yourself. Don't do all of that. As good as examination hall, you stop at sharp 5 o'clock. Take a break, evaluate your answer sheet. You will get to know. Then you don't need somebody to tell you what all you should improve. You yourself know. You have a hands-on experience now. You will then realize my first page answer sheet quality, my last page answer sheet quality, my handwriting in first answer, handwriting in last answer. One question was easy question. I knew the answer, but I did not have time. This realization will help you. So when you go to exam hall, it's not the first time you're writing an exam. Just 15 days back, you've already written 1, 2 to 5 exam. That mindset will be very different when you go to exam hall because you're not writing an exam for the first time. Some students in foundation, they have never seen MCQ OMR sheet pattern itself. When they go to exam hall, then they see that sheet, that itself is a surprise. Same mistake will happen with inter and final students when they see a lengthy question paper. At least one mock paper you should try, one paper for all 8 subjects or all 4 subjects, 15 days before examination. Evaluate answer sheets, you will get to know the mistakes. Second, choose what to write and what not to write. This is for the optional questions, correct? You will have 5 questions and you need to write any 4. In the first 15 minutes in exam, when they give you question paper without answer booklet, instead of reading that first question, which is anyway compulsory and you have to write, better you read other questions starting from question number 2. I'm talking about costing paper, FM paper, accounts paper, where first question is compulsory question. Yeah, not the MCQ pattern papers. I'm talking about non-MCQ papers. First question is compulsory. Anyway, you have to attend. Why to read? Anyway, you have to attend. Read from second, third, fourth, and so on. Out of that, you can leave one question. In that first 15 minutes, decide which one to leave. Don't open that first question at all. First 2 sheets, don't open. Normally, because they know you're going to read from first question first, they may keep that first question little tricky. And a student who opens that question for the first time, that too first day, first show, accounts paper, more dangerous because you're writing the exam for the first time. So you know the unnecessary tension that you take when you're writing the first paper. In that first question, if that itself is difficult, then your confidence level will go down. And then even if you have easy questions, you won't be able to attend well because you're starting with a negative NPV, correct? Coming back to 0 itself is difficult. But start with those where you are good at. which is normally last question, last to last questions. The moment they give question paper, start from the last page. Like how you read newspaper, sports page first, then movies, then we may come to first page, may not come to first page, but at least last page is important. Question number 6, question number 5, question number 4, from there you read. Whichever you find easy, which you think are going to be your best answers, that you select. Which is not so good answer, anyway you can leave one question. Question paper is for 120 marks. One question you can leave. This is where I have a complaint about a lot of students. Sir, I've studied everything, sir. That contract costing is one big headache. What to do? Now, I have no worries if you say contract costing is your headache, because question paper is not for 100 marks. It's 120 marks. Contract costing, one question for 10 marks. You can still write 110. My worry is, other than contract costing, have you studied well? Instead of worrying too much about that one topic which I don't know, that one segment which I don't know, or two topics which I did not attend class, why am I not focusing on the positive side, where out of 14 topics, 12 topics I'm good at? Even if those two topics which I'm not good at, or I'm trying to revise, I'm not able to understand, what is the maximum loss? Two questions of 10 marks, 10 marks, 20 marks. Anyway, you can attend 100. What if that comes in two separate questions? You can still attend 90. What if, sir, they ask too many questions from only that? You can still attend 80. They won't ask more than 40 from any two topics in costing. Correct? Even in 80, if you write really well, you can still score more than 65. And when they publish the marks card, they won't tell you how much you attended, how much you scored. They will only tell you how much you scored. Why to worry? So stop worrying too much about that one topic which you don't know, two chapters which you are not comfortable with. The balance, are you good? Ask that question to yourself. In the balance area, you should be very, very good. Even in FM, for example, sir, working capital management, a very big topic. What to do? I'm not able to understand some confusing adjustment. What to do? Okay, leave that. Balance, are you really good at? You can still attend 60 marks of FM, because FM is also 70 marks paper. Working capital can be only one question. 10 marks if you leave also. Are you good in balance at least? Now don't tell me one topic I'm bad at, and in every topic I have weak areas. That won't help. If you are leaving one topic and you're taking that risk, then ensure that you're good in everything else in the paper. I don't want to learn that working capital, sir, leave it. Okay, balance, 9 topic, are you very, very good at? If the answer is yes, then take that chance, leave the topic and go. Maximum 10 marks. That too you can leave, you can still attend 60. But are you good at balance is the question that you have to find an answer first. Is this clear? Next, you have to manage time from the very beginning in exam. That is, 3 hours paper. Imagine validator is checking your answer sheet from the last page. Now you know what's going to happen. So you don't know from where they are going to check the answers. You are writing from the beginning, not necessary that they have to check from the beginning. They may start from last page first. You don't know how they are going to check. Simple as that, full stop. Therefore, from the beginning, ensure you are keeping the speed in mind. Don't go very slow. So many students have this problem. First question, very neat, very clean, very slow. Line after line, double underline, box, answer tallied, so happy, so many underlines, everything. 45 minutes gone in one sum. This won't help. And what will happen to your last page? You know, forget line, pencil, scale. You will not be able to write the answer also properly. Instead, why don't you write the full answer sheet without any lines? Just maintain an alignment, particulars, amount. Don't draw any line. If you want in pen, you can draw on straight line. Go fast. And then if you have time, then you have your scale, your pencil. Do whatever drawing you want to do. But don't do that at the beginning and be very, very slow. Now again, 100 marks, 3 hours. That means in first hour, you should complete at least 30-35 marks. Correct? At the end of 1 hour, pause for 10 seconds and see how much you have done. If you have done about 30, 32, 35, then you're good at. Continue at the same speed. If you are still doing the second sum, I completed one sum for 10 marks, second sum still I am doing, that means not even 15-20 marks are over. At least in second hour you improve the speed. So last hour your handwriting is average at least. If not good, let that be average at least. Better to write average throughout the answer sheet is what I am saying, than starting from fantastic to horrible. Yours is minus to infinity to plus infinity in terms of quality. Our English, our presentation, everything. We don't write working notes properly. We don't write notes. Though it is important, we don't write. in the end. Initially, not necessary also, you write things in detail. For 4 marks, you write 1.5 page theory just because you know the answer properly. First answer. Last, for 4 marks, you won't even write 3 points because there is no time. Don't do this. After 1 hour, pause, 10 seconds, just check how much you have done. If you think you are above 30-35 marks, well, complete in the same speed. After 2 hours, again pause and check 60-65 marks done. You'll get to know roughly how much is pending. Then continue in the same speed. At the end of first hour, if you are not done with even 20 marks, then you have to improve your speed in the second hour itself. Third hour, you can't write too much. If you try, you will spoil the answer sheet. You know this very well. You don't need me to tell you. Understanding? Using cricket analogy, 49th over is more important than 50th. 50th over, you'll have tension. You won't be able to score. 49th only, you should score a little more. 50th, you can play easily. The third hour in your examination hall. Those who did not understand, those who don't know cricket, it's out of syllabus. I've told you all. Chalo. Last one, last 2 points. When you see a practical question or even a theory question, before writing the answer, you need to visualize how my answer is going to be. For example, an account sum. You know I have to do 3 ledgers and then P&L and balance sheet, something like this. When you read the question, you should visualize my first working note will be this ledger, next working note this, third working note this, then P&L, then balance sheet. This visualization is important. Otherwise, you'll start with something as working note 1 and then you realize that to do that working note, you should do one more working note and then you do working note 2 later, working note 1 first. You'll miss the order. When you see a costing question, when you see, say again, I'll take the capital budgeting example. You see an NPV question. At the end, question says, based on NPV method, suggest whether the project should be taken up or not. That means I have to finally find out NPV. To find out NPV, I have to prepare an NPV table. Year 0 to how many years I have the question, I have the data. For that, do I have CFAT? If I don't have, do I at least have profits, PBDT? No. That means I should start from sales. Okay, depreciation method is given, tax rate is given. That means I have to even find out depreciation. So now I know my first step is depreciation. Second, I'll do CFAT table. Then I'll do NPV. Finally, positive or negative is my conclusion. This is very important when you're writing practical answers. Don't start with working note 1, NPV table, and then you realize you don't have CFAT. And then leave some place, then go to next, and then come back, and then draw an arrow mark from here to here, and all that is not the professional way. It's a professional exam. You can't do what you did in school. Write something else and then say PTO first and then come back here and all that. Validator has no patience to do all this. Understanding what I'm saying? Even in accounts, same thing. When you write a theory answer also, suppose a case law type of question, you have a section, you have a story about that section, and then you have a given case, the facts of the case, and then you connect the section and the case, and then you write your conclusion. This overall structure of the answer should be ready. I'll first explain the section, I'll then explain the given case, I'll then write my conclusion. First 2 bullet points will be about the section, next 2 bullet points about the facts of the case, 5th bullet point will be my summary. So 5 marks, at least 5 bullet points, 1 bullet point, 1 mark is the standard you can keep. 1 extra is okay, but don't write too much. This visualizing the answer is very important. First step, second step, first working note, second working note. Once that answer is ready in your mind, then only you start. Then you will not go wrong. You know why I am doing this step, and next step when I am doing, what will be my next step. That flow should be there in the mind. Just like how we do in class, you should have the same focus. Discuss with yourself in exam hall before you start the answer. Last point, most important. Working notes. Even if you don't get the final answer correctly, you can pass the paper just with correct working notes. Balance sheet did not tally, no problem. Have you done all the working notes? You can still get 9 out of 10. Tallying balance sheet has 1 mark weightage, but getting those numbers to the balance sheet for that working note 1, 2, 3, 4, that has more weightage. Every working note has weightage. Ratio analysis, for example, you have to prepare a balance sheet. You have to do 7 working notes and then the balance sheet. Each working note, you have 1 mark. Suppose there is one question, you know you can't answer that, but in that one working note you can do. Suppose this is the last 5 minutes, I can't do anything, 90 marks paper is written, 2 questions for 10 marks each, I can't answer any of those, but in one question, I know I can do one step. Do that one step properly and come. You will get marks even for that step, that working note, that ledger account. You have this incomplete records topic. Yeah, okay. In costing, you have this integrated, non-integrated accounting system where you have to do ledgers, stores ledger account, wage control account. I can't do all ledgers, sir. I don't have time. Can I at least do stores ledger control account and come? Can I at least do, okay, process costing, process 1, process 2, process 3, abnormal loss, abnormal gain, P&L. So many things I've asked. I can't do everything. Process 1, can you do? Do that and come. At least that step you do and come. They want you to tally the balance sheet, but that doesn't happen, no problem. Can you at least do all the working notes that are necessary? See, at inter level, they check whether student has the approach to get the correct answer. Whether he has got the correct answer or not is a second question. At least, is he capable of understanding how to solve? He has solved, he has not solved is a second question. Again, I am repeating. Tomorrow you will be using Excel sheets in real world. There is an accounting software. You should know properly how to gather the data, how to condense the data, how to summarize the data, how to use the data. Processing of data, computers do. If you pass journal entry, you can take balance sheet printout. Today, that is the real world. You just have to know the correct journal entry. To know the correct journal entry, you should know the basics, the fundamentals of accounting. Receiver, giver, what is coming in, what is going out. This concept is what they check. And by the way, in the softwares that are used in real world, if you give wrong journal entry, it will give you wrong balance sheet. Understand? Then also it will give you balance sheet. Cash will be in liability, capital will be in asset. It will give you balance sheet. That means they will only check whether the student knows the approach, whether he is fundamentally strong in the concepts. One more example, overhead topic. You have apportionment, rent in area ratio. Now, sir, I don't have time. I know that's a big sum. 5 departments, rent in 5:3:2 are boring and time consuming. If you don't have enough time, at least write cost, rent, basis of apportionment. You write that and come. You don't apportion, write the basis and come. At least valuator will get to know, okay, he knows rent should be based on area. He knows insurance should be based on plant. He should value of plant. Employee insurance is based on number of employees. At least the approach is known. Maybe there was no time, so he did not press the calci. Instead of doing rent, area and completing that one line, I would suggest particulars and basis for apportionment. Write all overhead names, write all the basis of apportionment, give answer sheet and come. At least valuator will get to know. You knew how to do. Maybe there was no time, you could not do. So they will check this, whether you had clear approach to work out the sum. 5 minutes extra, you would have done that 5:3:2 ratio. By the way, that any 7th standard student can do. 1000 rupee distribute in area ratio. But at least area ratio, that is the costing knowledge. Not pressing calci for 5/15, 3/15, 2 by. That is a clerical work. Today in computer world, computers will do all that. But you should know whether it is area based or employees based. They will check this. So you can't do final answer properly, no problem. Do working notes properly. Even in your revision at home, ensure that you focus on working notes. Balance sheet doesn't tally, no problem. Sometimes your calculator, instead of pressing 15,000, you press 1,500, balance sheet won't tally. And you'll be searching for the 13,500 difference in the whole question paper. Mistake was in calci. Instead of 15,000, if you press 1,500, you'll have a difference of 13,500. You check where is 13,500, no item 13,500. 13,500 is a calculator mistake. I mean, your mistake, let's blame calci for that. Calculator mistake, not understanding of the subject. Now, validator won't deduct full marks for this. He understands when he checks, okay, this difference is because instead of writing 1,500, the student has written 15,000, and that one extra zero has made all this mistake. So they will understand. They will only see whether you have done the working notes properly or not. Even in class, even in your revision at home, focus more on proper working note presentation. And trust me, your answer can be 100% correct. If you don't write working notes, you won't get 10 out of 10. They can still deduct marks because of not writing working notes. Depreciation, you do in calci, original cost, scrap value, useful life, you directly write there, they will take out 1 marks. NPV answer may be correct. You will still not get 10 out of 10 because the working notes for depreciation is not shown. For the valuator, key is given this way. For first working note 1 mark, second working note 1 mark, CFAT calculation 2 marks, NPV table 3 marks, conclusion 1 mark. So even if you do half of the answer properly, that is working note 1, 2, 3, and not do the main answer, you will still get 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Instead of trying to do the exact balance sheet, better attend the problem with complete working notes. Okay, one last suggestion before I take up your questions. if you know something has to tally in exam, and if it is not tallying, don't sit on that sum for 15-20 minutes. Okay, something to tally at the end, this total should be equal to this total. You knew this, you tried working out the sum, 35 minutes over, finally you realized two sides are not tallying. Now what is that student normally does? He'll start checking from working note 1 once again, and then retotal everything in calci. 35 minutes to do the answer, 15 minutes to find out where is the mistake. Then also no guarantee he'll find out the mistake. Even if he finds out the mistake, understand you have spent 15 minutes to get that one extra mark because the balance sheet was not tallying, now it is tallying. In that 15 minutes, you could have answered another small question of 5 marks or 10 marks. Therefore, if something is to tally and if it is not tallying, spend 2-3 minutes in checking, because you know where I normally do the mistake. You all know where you do the mistake. Go to that adjustment, check whether you have done that correctly. If that is wrong, correct it, answer should tally. Then also it is not happening, leave that. Balance sheet did not tally, still okay. Go to next question, go to next question. Complete the whole answer sheet. At the end, you still have 10 minutes. You know one question, balance sheet did not tally. Now spend all 10 minutes only on that sum. No problem, because you have anyway attended full 100 marks. At the end of 10 minutes, if you don't get the mistake also, no problem. You have written the full paper. There is no opportunity cost now. Understanding? But when you start first and spend 30 minutes and then another 15 minutes to find out the mistake, understand in 15 minutes in 1:2 ratio, you are losing another question of 7 marks. Don't do that. This advice is specifically where something has to tally. Ratio analysis, balance sheet should tally, not tallying. Once you check which is that possible wrong item, then also you did not get, leave it. Go to next question, go to next question. At the end, you have time, sit on that ratio analysis till the invigilator takes paper. Try finding out what is the mistake. You find out, good, otherwise also no problem, no loss. Clear? Chalo. So I have got couple of questions in YouTube chat box. If you guys have the question, let me know. You can ask. I will repeat the question and answer, because those who are watching on YouTube may not be able to hear your voice. If you have anything, you can ask. Otherwise, I'll take up from YouTube. Do's and don'ts. Yes. Sorry, sir. You can ask now.
Actually, I completed my group 1, sir. Now I have very less knowledge about group 2. Should I start my activity?
Okay, you have completed group 1. Exam done, result?
Yes.
You have cleared the group 1. Okay. Now we are planning to write group 2 in May. Okay. Question is whether you can attend articleship or not. Have you attended the classes or attending now? Okay. If you are attending now, the problem is if you go to any CA office today and ask them for articleship, they will ask you what is your plan for May exam. And if you say I need 1 month leave to study, then you will join in February, example. Feb, March you will work, and again April is your holiday month. Right? And then again May, you will go back to office only in the last week of May. Therefore, they may ask you to come after your exam itself. But if you think you can study in 15 days, then you can still join articleship now and ask for holiday only from say April 20 to May 10th. Anyway, group 2 will come only after May 10th or 11th. So those 15-20 days you can study and take up the examination. Yeah, that depends on whether they are ready to give leave or not. If they are ready to give 1 month leave for your examination, then I think you should join, attend class, and then do articleship, take that 1 month time to study. Any other questions? Now those students who are attending classes now and planning to write both the groups, the classes that you are attending now, this should be class as well as revision. Don't think you will have time to do one more round of revision. You are attending class, that itself is your first round of study and final round of study. You should at home study only or revise only the group 1 if you are now attending group 2 classes. So by the time group 2 is done, anyway knowledge will be fresh. You don't have to revise in group 2. Group 1 you start revising from now itself. All those who are planning to attend classes, and if your classes are going till March end, April mid, understand that as both regular class as well as revision. do that RTP, MTP revision that I told you in the class itself or as homework that day itself. So this is first and final round of study. Our mind anyway works on FIFO basis, so old knowledge has gone out. So better revise group 1 now. Group 2 will be still there in the mind. In a way, on a good side, on a positive side, it's a benefit to you now. You'll be studying little late, group 2 papers. You will remember easily when you go to exam hall. Group 1 you have attended 4 months back, you have to revise. Group 2 regular class itself should be your revision also. That day go home and do RTP, MTP and old question paper revision. So that day class and revision both are done. So next time you're checking that book is only 1 week before exam. Because anyway you're studying that in say March or beginning of April. Then there won't be time for one more round of full revision. Understand? Any other questions? Okay, quickly on from YouTube, sir, people who took those who have taken only group 1. Question from Sharda. Yes, if you are writing only group 1 and doing articleship, you can still study 5 hours according to me. And all those who are doing articleship and planning to write only one group, in our academy here in Yash's Academy, students attend 5 hours class every day, even when they are doing articleship. Morning 7 to 9:30, evening 6 to 8:30. Same time you can study. That means if you can attend class, you can study also. So every day, even when you're doing articleship, you can still study 4 to 5 hours, morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours, but you need a discipline, you need a regular routine. Someday you get up early and study, go late to office. Someday late night you study, get up late and go late to office. That day because you slept less previous day, sleep extra next day. This won't help. Those who are doing articleship, maintain a regular routine. You have to study minimum 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. Or if you want to study late night, then study late night, but keep that routine, keep a discipline. Don't study too much one day and too less the other day. You can still do if you are doing articleship and writing only one group in May. You can discuss with your boss in office. Even if you get 15-20 days leave from now, if you study, I am sure you will be able to complete minimum 4 to 5 hours every day. You should study, then it's possible. Yeah. Okay, Neha. Oh, sir, what will happen if I don't write first question? I don't recommend, because when they say first question is compulsory, I know there are many Nehas sitting in the class also maybe having the same doubt. When they say it's a compulsory question, don't leave that question. Okay, worst case scenario, what may happen? I have no answer to any of those 4 questions. Write 1A. Write 2 lines. Copy what is there in the question. That itself write and come. It should be attended. Answer need not be correct. So maximum you will spend is only 1 minute. Horrible case, I don't know any of the 4 sub questions. 1A, 2 lines you write. 1B, 2 lines you write. 1C, 1D. Write and come. Validator will give 0, 0, 0, but it will be considered as attended. Cost, they only said compulsory question. Where did they say answer should be correct? If that is your worry, do this. Yeah. Okay. Dhanush, how many subjects should I study at a time? Some of you also may have this. My suggestion is, you guys have too much energy while revising practical papers and too less energy while studying theory. Why don't you study both the same day? When you have high energy, study theory. Do exactly opposite of what you have been doing all these years. I'm very fresh or full mood, study theory. I'm feeling sleepy, take up your favorite practical paper, whichever it is. Or if theory is interesting, when you are bored, you should do what is interesting. When you have high energy, don't do what is interesting. You will anyway do that well, because that's anyway your favorite paper. When you have full energy, study your weak paper. Study that paper which according to you is slightly boring to you, or you are weak in that. My suggestion would be to mix one practical and one theory than studying one paper for full day. Do this. That too, one subject which you are good at and one that you are not good at. Mix it in this way. That's a better combination. Yeah. Rohit, yes, you can take up one group in May if you think you will not be able to. I already explained this at the beginning. Instead of just sticking to one group, that is 4 papers, you can think of 4 plus 1. If you think 8 is a burden, for sure 6 is not a burden. But if you do 4 plus 1 and if you get exemption, then surely next attempt that exemption paper will help you a lot. Take it from me, many students have been benefited because of this tip. Many have scored, completed group 1 210 215, and in group 2 they have taken advanced accounts and got the exemption. Now next time they only have to study FM Eco, auditing and EISSM. They can directly join articleship. Within 15-20 days also they can revise these 3 subjects, because they already have one paper which is above 60. Now they have to manage the overall average. So always better to go for 4 plus something than sticking to just 4. Yes, Sharda, I think I already covered this. Ankita has this question: if there is equal balance in both practical and theory, should the two subjects? If you have decided to write both the groups, and if you don't want to change that thought, then better one practical subject from group 1, one theory from group 2 you study. If you have decided that I'll be writing both the groups, then accounts with audit you study. Anyway, you're covering both the groups. Anyway, one practical and one theory. Because those students who have decided to write both the groups, if you study only one group subjects, then another problem. You will overstudy. Now, if you have a plan, as I told you at the beginning, you will not do it. So many days will go in group 1, and take it from me, group 1 revision takes more time than group 2, because group 2 has theory subjects. You will normally go little fast, and group 1 syllabus is also vast. Tax, costing, accounts in one group, the very deadly combination, very lengthy, time consuming topics. Okay, so study one practical, one theory. If you have already decided that you will be doing both the groups, then one from this group and one from that group. Then you should not be talking about group 1, group 2. You should be simply talking about 8 papers. Now there is no question, any random 2 papers you can study together. One practical, one theory would be good. Yes, Mahesh, to remember sub points in theory subjects, I told you already, make your own summary notes. That will be better. So next time when you study. And another complaint, many students told me, sir, we studied this 4 months ago. Today when I open it, looks like it's a new subject altogether. What to do? My complaint is, why did you not open that in last 4 months? Never give too much of break between first reading and second reading. Example, if you are reading accounts 1 and law from today, finish that, take up, suppose that is paper 1 and paper 2. Then when you take paper 3 and 4, before going to paper 5 and 6, keep 3-4 hours only to revise paper 1 and 2 once again. So next 15 days paper 1 and 2, then 3 and 4. Before you go to 5 and 6, keep 1 day only for paper 1 and 2 again, and then do 5 and 6. Then before doing 7 and 8, revise paper 3 and 4 once again. So don't keep too much gap, and you can't study full topic again. Come to that summary notes, brush up the summary notes. You will feel that, okay, I know this, I've studied this 20-30 days back. It will be very easy for you to recall. If you keep a 4 months gap between first round study and final round revision, definitely whenever you open that, you will find it new. 4 months gap, people will easily forget anything that they have studied 4 months ago. Don't keep a 4-month gap is my suggestion. Once in 20 days, you should touch that subject. Summary notes, 3-4 hours, just brush up so you know now what is NPV, what is PI. You don't have to get into the sums. Later when you open the NPV revision again, your last reading won't be 4 months ago. It will be 20 days ago. It will be much easy for you to take it back. Like WhatsApp, you also start writing on the topic last seen. Okay, if that last scene is 3 months ago, then study today itself. Don't keep a big gap between last scene and this. Yeah. Okay, for May 23, this is one more question. May 23, there won't be any new syllabus, old syllabus confusion. Don't worry. Your syllabus, your book was given by institute. They can't change any rules for May 23 exam. Whatever is with you, that itself is a syllabus. And please don't hope November 23 new syllabus will come. I won't write May exam itself, etc., etc. You don't know the rules yet. No guarantee they will allow all of you to convert to new scheme. We don't even know when they are going to introduce. As of now, before coming to your session also, I checked today morning, there is no update on ICA website. There are a lot of YouTube videos, I'm not talking about that. On ICA website, I did not see any update about the new scheme implementation. So therefore, May 23 students, don't postpone your attempt hoping that November 23 will be shifted to new, and in new scheme somewhere we have seen one paper is less in one group, so that will be easy. Nobody knows. What if paper is tough with less papers? Number of papers may come down, examination standard may go up. Getting what I'm saying? And what if they make income tax a MCQ paper, and then now also you have MCQ in 30 marks, is it now? What if they remove and you have to work out everything? Anything can change. You don't know whether it is going to be in your favor or not. We don't know. What if the paper standard goes up? Number of papers may come down. If standard goes up, then you can't go back to old once you shift to new, etc. So don't wait for any of this. Your exam is in May 23. Hoping that November 23 will be easier is a good joke actually. Yeah, sir, I'm planning to take a divorce from this, hoping the new relationship will be better. Yeah, hope is a good thing, but not in this case. What is a guarantee that is going to be better than this? Nobody knows. Understanding? By the way, they are saying again based on YouTube, Pradeep, don't follow all this. MCQ will be with negative marking from November 23. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't know. Nothing is on ICI website. And I also have that PDF, that PPT that you have seen, proposed scheme. Correct? Let them come with the official notification. Till that, don't worry. Now, this can be a problem. May attempt you don't have MCQ with negative marking. In future, what if it is with negative? Then you will say old was better. Yeah. Remember, machine replacement problem. Correct. Old machine should be continued sometimes. Don't worry too much about new scheme, old scheme. This is not relevant to you. Okay. Yes. Chalo. I think I've answered all the question here. If anyone has anything, okay. Before that, I thought of discussing this one slide at the end. Some do's and don'ts. I'll only take 2-3 minutes. By the way, you know all this. You just need somebody to come and tell you, I'm doing that job today. Number one, don't worry too much. What if this happens, that happens? If you don't believe, I had shared one screenshot of a student who scored 91 in costing this time. She had scored 36 last time. Okay. Now, if she had lost the confidence after first attempt 36 in costing, she would not have scored 91. Okay. And I still remember, I'll share that screenshot also with all of you today. When she was attending the class on first day itself, she had sent me a message that, sir, last time I scored only 36. This time I've taken it as a challenge. I will score. Give me the target. I said 80 plus. She added some GST and scored 91. And then she sent me the same screenshot once again. That's sir, I told you I'll score 80 plus. I've scored 91. If you don't trust, if you don't believe yourself, nobody's input is going to help you. After failing in that paper itself, in that group, she cleared all 3 papers first time when she wrote, failed in costing itself. And then saying that I'll get highest in costing itself, unless you have that self belief, it is not easy. I think she scored good marks the day she decided that she's going to score more in that paper itself. That requires a lot of self confidence. You don't doubt yourself. There is enough time. Second, keep all the negative surroundings, especially your friends, you know whom I am talking about. Now don't see who is sitting next to you. I did not refer to that person in general. Yeah, the negative inputs, those who reduce your energy, those who take away your strength, are of no help to you, even now, even in future. If their inputs, their suggestions are going to add some value, spend time with them. Otherwise, you are losing your marks whenever you spend time with such people every day. I've told you this in my regular class also. You won't score in those 3 hours, you score in next 100 days. If you keep doing all negative things, wasting time, I'm not against you watching a cricket match, but if you're watching a cricket match and you're spending 3 hours there, tell me how you are going to study 3 hours extra in next 3 days. 1 hour extra will you study from tomorrow? If yes, watch cricket match now, enjoy. 1 hour for next 3 days. You should know how to take back those 3 hours. And if you're only going to waste time, it's a loss to you. Next is the discipline. I told you after this video, Studying full night today won't help if you're not going to get up tomorrow and attend class at 7 o'clock. You need to have a discipline. Yeah, we are like mobile batteries. We have to charge every day. We can't charge once and say for next 30 days this charge is enough. Okay, you have to charge your mobile every day to be able to use the mobile that day. So you also have to have the discipline every day. If you don't have discipline, don't expect good result. Simple. 2 days I study too much, 3 days I won't revise, then again 2 days I study, one video I watched, suddenly some fire inside, and then 3 hours only fire's duration. That won't help. Last one, have a routine. This is very important. All students who are at home watching online classes, if it is physical class, you get up early, you come here at 7. But if it is online, you don't have a proper routine. Biggest problem when you're watching classes from home. Okay, don't do this. Even if you're watching recorded classes, ensure there is a regular routine. Morning 7 to 9:30 I will watch first session of yesterday, anyway recorded classes. Again I'll take 30 minutes break only. That routine should be as good as you are sitting in physical class. You know why many students want to attend physical class? Because they know at home they're not disciplined. They can't follow a routine. Here class starts at 7 o'clock, they will get up and come. If it is at home, they won't watch at 7 o'clock. They will join at 7:45 and drag the video back and watch from there. This is self-destruction. You are doing mistake even after knowing. Please avoid. On the other side, don't discuss your study plan with your friends. Their plan and your plan need not be same. Their strength and weakness is not same as yours. Don't discuss. They will change the number of hours and then they won't come later when the results are out. I've told you this already. Second, don't worry too much about results. I've told you, you should have tension about how should I write my exams well. No tension about what if this happens, what if that happens. That's not in your hand. Your job, your duty is to go and write the exam well. Full stop. Giving result is institute headache. Why are you worried? Sir, what if I fail? I'm worried now itself. Result will come after 5 months. Exam is after 3.5 months. Worry about what is there after 3.5 months. Why are you focused so much about the result? If you write well, you will pass. Why are you worried about passing or failing? You should be worried about how to write well. Nobody talks about that. Everybody thinks about what if I fail. You don't write well, you don't study well, no way you're going to pass. Simple. That means shift the focus to preparation from final result. Last one, waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. Yeah, external motivation. Unless you find a purpose, unless you find a reason, understand, you will not be able to do anything well. Okay, don't, sir, every morning I'll watch 2 minutes video and then start. What if one day mobile is not working and that video is not opening? Then this is a temporary solution, correct? You can't be taking a headache tablet every day. Understanding what I'm trying to tell you? You should be motivated from within. If that is not there, no session, no video, no quotes, no reels are going to help you. Understand that. The reels are good for next 5 minutes, but again you need one more reel for 5 more minutes. Then you'll spend more time in reel than in studying. Yeah. How to study? People watch video. 1 hour video. In 1 hour you could have studied something. External motivation can only help you. I told you correct in the class also how to wake up early. Uh, yeah. Watching in midnight at 2 a.m. won't help. Yeah. Last one, complaining, finding excuses as to why I can't do well. We all have 25 reasons already. You don't need to find out too many reasons. You already know. It's up to you now whether the question is I will not write exam because of ABCD, or whether the answer is I will write despite of ABCD. So whether it is because of or despite of. If you find that answer, I think you'll not complain about all this. In PG there is a disturbance. Study in library and go late. At home there is a disturbance in the academy itself. You can study till evening 8:39 and go. You will find a way if you want to do. You will find excuse if you don't want to. Simple. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has problems. You have to find out a way. Okay, so don't complain too much. Everybody has too many complaints, and you can't, by the way, write in the exam answer sheet on top, because of below reasons I was not able to study ABCD. Kindly consider these reasons and give me extra mark. That's not going to help you. Then why are you thinking too much about all those excuses? They're not going to help you, and nobody is interested in listening to your excuses. Take it seriously. Yeah. So that's all from my end.
How to handle the stress during those couple of days, like during the exam?
If you study well from now, you will not have stress
No, sir, like not
that
during
time.
exams, but before those days.
Why are you getting stressed? Because again, you're worried about what if I. Don't worry. Be prepared. Whatever work I'm going to do, proportionately I'm going to get marks. More work I do, better marks I get. So I'll fail if I don't study well, I'll pass if I study well, full stop. So why to now worry? Even after studying well, you won't fail. I can guarantee you that. Study well, do your work, minimum 10 hours I told you, and no reason why you will fail. Why to worry about? Result is not in your hand, I told you. Yeah, correct. So that's all from my end. Thank you so much. Thanks to all those who joined on YouTube as well. Take care and study well. Bye bye.